Es ist 20 Uhr. Aus dem Sendestudio Berlin ist euch jetzt für 2 Stunden Musikgenuss garantiert. In der Electro-Party versorgt euch eure Lieblingsmoderatorin treibende Musik, interessante Interviews und eine ausgeklügelte Songauswahl. Seid gespannt. Viel Spaß und gute Unterhaltung mit Janni, der frechen Berliner Göre.
Einen wunderschönen guten Abend, hier ist die Stimme aus Berlin, hier ist die Janni, live in eurem Lieblingsradio und wir haben heute die Electro-Party auf den Ohren und ihr habt heute mal ein bisschen anderes Programm auf den Ohren. Ihr habt nämlich ein Interview, zum Teil in Englisch, also zum großen Teil in Englisch, beziehungsweise in Irisch, weil der junge Mann aus Irland kommt, nämlich ich spreche von T.pMad. Ja, und ich habe ihm einige Fragen gestellt. Er hat sie mir beantwortet und ich werde es kurz zusammenfassen und ein bisschen beantworten, soweit wie ich es hinkriege. Ich habe zwar ein Transkript hier, aber das ist mein Englisch, ihr wisst, ein little bit schwer, ne? Ja, ich habe Paul gefragt, wo ist es jetzt hin? Natürlich geht es schon gleich wieder nach hinten los, aber ich muss es mal nach vorne schieben hier. So, komm her. Ich habe ihn gefragt, wie kommt der Name T.pMad zustande? Was hat er also wie ist der entstanden? Was hat er zu bedeuten? Was sind da die Hintergründe? So, er asked him, what does the name T.pMad mean? Is there any background here? Und er hat sehr, sehr umfangreich geantwortet, wie ihr gleich mitbekommen werdet. Wir starten nämlich gleich mal voll rein, bevor wir dann mit 2 Titeln von ihm weitermachen. Willkommen zum ersten Teil des Interviews.
Hi Janni, and thank you so much for taking the time to chat to me, Paul, from T.pMad. And T.pMad is based over here in Ireland, and God knows what we do, but we, I suppose, gothic, indie, rock, and post-punk, I suppose, most, I don't know. People hear what they want to hear, you know yourself. So thanks so much for having me. And T.pMad, what does it mean? Yes, well, I could tell you all the great stories of Paul is mad. It's not that. What am I mad for? As in, what P is, am I mad for? No, it's not that either. You can make your own decisions whether I am mad or not. That's fine too. Could be. And yes, so then there is also the other one, the other T.pMad that we have on the, if you look it up on Google, is very depressing. We won't look at that part of it. But if you go on to where I would like Facebook and your social medias, there I lose a lot of fans too, or this other crowd gets a lot of fans, or I get some fans from. It's strangely enough, this is not the meaning, but also this crowd also has the same T.pMad is the Pakistani Military Accounting Department. So the Pakistani Military Accounting Department are getting loads of T.pMad fans, and they must be wondering where in the name of God are these lads coming out of it. And then the Pakistani military crowd must be wondering, hey, this ain't how am I going to get my salary fixed by this guy? Sure, that's crazy. So anyway, yes, so it's not the Pakistani military accounting department, and it's not the sad thing on the internet and all the other bits and conditions. You know, how uncool is it? But it's my name, Paul Martin Anthony Dillon. Yes, indeed. That's I was born and christened, and my confirmation name was Anthony, and so that made me pMad. And probably continue on to be fully mad. But anyway, joys.
Ja, also sein Name ist Paul Martin Anthony Dillon. Und wenn man seinen Namen übersetzen würde und Google eingeben würde, dann würde das eigentlich bedeuten pakistanisch-militärische Buchhaltungsabteilung. Und wenn er das Geld verdienen würde, was die dort einnehmen, dann wäre er wahrscheinlich so ein bisschen ein reicher Mann. Wir kommen zu den Titeln von pMad, nämlich Electric and Feet.
Stroll the streets with the swagger of a serial killer. Long black coat and an attitude. What do you see? What do you see? Leaving me. Wishing to rise while others fall. Can we not just rise together? Why do you lie? Why do you? Come on and think. Come and think. Life is mine. Dance like you can. Dance like you can. Swagger the streets with electric voice. Swagger the streets, electric voice. Can you hear my voice? What is your choice? All alone. Why? Oh, why? I wanted more. When you left me, I see life, what is it for? Design my life when I swam to shore. The heavens open wide. How do I feel? How do I feel inside? Always wanting more. It is lights out. face. Lines on my skin from living life within. It runs deep if you can't hide. The blood runs deep, we get no sleep. No escape if you can't hide. No escape, no escape, no escape if you can't hide. The life of a value is worth more than the value of a life. Darkness surrounds me. The weight of the world bearing down on me. The weight of the world bearing down on me. It runs deep if you can't hide. The blood runs deep and we get no sleep. No escape if you can't hide. No escape, no escape, no escape if you can't hide. The life of a value is worth more than the value of a life. I'm drowning in a sea of pain, trying to find my way back to the light again. The darkness pulls me down. Darkness may have won this round. I'll keep on fighting till I'm found in this world of evil and pain. The past is a burden, it's weighing me down. We need a way to turn around. The blood runs deep, we'll get no sleep. No escape if you can't hide. Make the value of a life worth more than the value of the world. No escape if you can't hide. No escape if you can't hide. In this world of shadows and fear. In this world of shadows and fear. We're searching for what? We're searching for what isn't there. The darkness, hard to breathe, hard to make a sound. The weight of the world crushing down. The weight of the world crushing down.
Tja, pMad war für euch mit dem Titel Feed hier am Start. Dann kommen wir schon zum nächsten Interviewteil und ich habe pMad gefragt, beziehungsweise Paul gefragt, seit wann gibt es pMad und wie kam es dazu? How long has pMad existed? How did this come about?
pMad is around, God, how long is it around? It's around forever, I suppose, in my head. It's more of a marketing ploy with the calling it PMad, but Paul has always been tipping away and in a corner of a room making noise, strumming a guitar or trying to do something on a synth and all the other bits and pieces. I play all sorts of different things, none of them any good of course, but technology is great. So realistically, PMad started in COVID because COVID has a lot to answer for over the world, yes, ceasing, but the PMad actually got around to stopping, having time, clearing out, decluttering the house and the rest of it, and finding a load of cassettes and CDs and floppy disks of old stuff. I would always record everything that I nearly always did, pressing the recording to play for the cassettes or on a CD player or whatever it is and recording, and on phones and things like that. So I would have always recorded, and God, when you listen back to something, you say, "Actually, that's stupid, I'll throw it out." But granted, there was actually, actually, that's not a bad riff, or a riff, and that's not a bad, actually okay. And then when you get time, and we sat down, and I sort of went back and replayed some of the stuff and said, Janni, okay, we might be able to make a bit of a tune out of that. And the way technology is now with all the different DAWs and stuff like that, God, yeah, we piled it in and then went back and re-recorded and did other bits and pieces like that. And so that was the music. Years and years and years and years and years of stuff. And yeah, it made some sort of logic. Then you go along, and I think people would talk especially in COVID and in modern psychological times, and psychiatrists would tell you should be journaling. Yeah, journaling. I thought, what the hell is journaling? But I always was. I never knew what it was, but I always was. We'll say always writing down lyrics or mishearing lyrics is the biggest thing I have anyway. Mishearing, singing songs and realizing later, years later, oh jeez, that's not what they said. And yeah, actually writing it down and copying stuff and looking after, look, it's amazing how so that was the lyrics, and then plucking some of that out, improving of course, and putting them into the song. So PMad, all through COVID. So fortunately enough, through Lee Martin, who is also in the Big Generator, but he's with me in the greeting, PMad was it fails, yes, it fails, but it was to fail. Surprisingly, it's done okay, but it was PMad was to release music, learn all the mistakes, and the greeting is the band that is going to take over the world, which it is. It's fantastic music and a lot more commercial and things like that, and people seem to love it as well. So we, with Liam then, we put more tunes together and different things, and he gave me a few hinters on how to be a bit smarter and how to do things. And then fortunately enough, through COVID, there's a beautiful man over there in Germany called Dominic Hanold, and he's with Protonaut Studios, and I cannot speak highly enough of him. He's a genius, and he puts up with me. Fair play to him. And during COVID, he had an ad up on Facebook, I suppose. Things have gone quiet and the world is small, so why not do things through email and the rest of it? So we actually I got in contact with Dominic and I said, can you make something out of this rubbish? And by God, he came back and he said, yes, we can do that. And I was amazed. What? We can actually do something. So with the genius, with my raw knowledge and actual skills, I sent it across to Dominic, and Dominic put his twist on it and his skills and his multitude of skills, and turned these songs into an actual real song, from demos to to his creations, I suppose, more so. And that's where we are today. Then that Dominic, we still have the team, so I suppose then making the music, I suppose, is one thing, and then you continue on and you have to promote it and do all the other stuff. So that's sort of, I don't do too bad with that. So what we did then is I released Who Am I was the debut single on just before Christmas in 2021. Yeah, so that's where it all started. And to the wonderful Damien Carroll, who is of Slugger Tree and The Daily Earworm and Pod Racer, he gave me wonderful quotes and things like that, along with Paul Travis at the Indie Rock Show. So people heard it and they say, geez, that's good. And it gives you the ego. Yeah. Anyway, it gives you the encouragement and the confidence to go on. And then my wife, fair play to her, who is the realist, and said, you want to get your thick neck on, you want to be very careful because not everyone's going to like you. But I know that anyway. Not everyone likes me, and it doesn't worry me one bit. I've got over all those sort of things, yeah. I've of course, I'd like to be liked. But if people don't like me, it won't certainly be my fault. We just don't click, or it won't be from me having bad manners or anything like that. So anyway, that was me, pMad. Where's the start? Yeah, back through COVID. Realistically, I suppose.
Ja, er hat also erzählt, dass pMad entstanden ist in der Zeit der Pandemie. Er hat schon als junger Mann sehr, sehr viel Musik gemacht, hat halt aufgezeichnet, hat auf Kassetten aufgenommen und. Und hat dann die Zeit genutzt, während Covid sich hinzusetzen und wollte eigentlich all die Sachen wegschmeißen. Er hat nie Handys oder Telefone gesammelt, sondern eher Kassetten und Musik. Und hat sich dann aber gesagt, mit einen anderen zusammen, er wird mal drüber schauen, wird versuchen, Sachen abzuschreiben an Texten, weil die Qualität sehr schlecht war zur damaligen Zeit. Und irgendwann hat er sich hingesetzt und hat neu aufgenommen und ist dann unter anderem auf, und jetzt habe ich den Namen gerade weggescrollt, Dominik aus Deutschland gekommen, Dominik Hanold. Und er hat ein Studio bei Protonaut Studios und hat aus all dem, was er ihm so geliefert hat, dann tatsächlich einen tollen Song zusammen geschustert, und sein Debütsingle war Who Am I? Erschienen ist das Ganze im Dezember 2021 und deswegen habt ihr jetzt gleich den Titel auf den Ohren. pMad Who Am I? Gefolgt von Confession.
Why do you bring me down? Why do you leave me bound? You're living a lie, I'm living and you're dying. You're living a lie. me tell you what we're here for. Try and survive, fight or flight. You think you'll never smile. When we arrive on the 4th. When we arrive, it will be bow and arrows. When we arrive on the 4th, it will be with bow and arrows. Sleeper, night sleeper, peacekeeper, night sleeper, peacekeeper, night sleeper. What do you do? Think you'll do? You think you'll never smile again? What do you think? What's our fate? I'm not missing the tears. I'm not missing the fears. Let's have a life with second chances. Let's have a life with second chances. Let's have a day where life advances. Let's have a day where life advances. And they say our life is up. And they say our life is up. And they say it's not enough. And they say it's not enough. I don't know. Time to let go. Time to let go.
Tja, Confessions, so ist der Titel von pMad. Ach ja, schöne Musik. I like it, I love it. Ja, dann habe ich ihn noch gefragt, ob er schon als Kind Musik gemacht hat. Did you make music as a child, as a teenager? Er hat viele Fragen so ein bisschen, dass ihr euch nicht wundert, ne? Verschmelzen lassen. Deswegen jetzt hier die Antwort dazu.
Yes, music would be maybe a slight over-exaggeration on it, but we'd always be making noise, and I do like noise and clutter in the sound. I like to know where things are. I have, like my desk, it's fairly messy. It's tidy, but it's messy, but it's my tidy. It's my messy. I know exactly where everything is. So it's a bit like my music. I love Sonic Youth, and it's more obscure stuff sometimes that, and seemingly the older I'm getting, actually, the heavier some of the stuff, some of the music I could be listening to now. But back in the day, of course, we had, Declan and Jimmy and Mike, and when he did turn up, and Noel and Gary and the rest of them, we'd be in we were the Return of the Suicidal Duffel Coats, or the Return in the Suicidal Duffel Coats first, and then we were Starve the Barber, and then we would be eventually, when you go back again after a few years, it's the Return of the Suicidal Duffel Coats. Yes, and we'd be in my mother and father's living room, my home, and I'd have guitar or bass, and Jimmy on the bongos, and doing different things like that, and saying, "Jay, yeah, let's play some music." So we would try and cover. Yes, Declan Scott would be into the Simple Minds at the time. I would have preferred earlier Simple Minds. He would have preferred more modern stuff, and then I would have been trying to get the lads to The Cure, and we'd 10:15 on a Saturday night, and Boys Don't Cry, and trying to emulate all these people, the heroes and stuff like that, and whatever else was popular on the day, yeah. And then someone would make a mistake, and we'd all jump on top of him and beat the head of him and have a fight, and and then have a right good laugh at it and meet up next Sunday again then after that, yeah. And then in college, went to college, and we had a very, very small flat in an apartment. We wouldn't even call it an apartment. It was a bedsit, two of us. We shared a room, and then there was an adjoining room and a toilet that we all had to share. But it was cheap, and that was college. But every time my roommate would go away, the lads would slip in, and we'd have two guys, and we played a bit of tried to learn. Now, one of the guitarists, it was Tom Petty, and there was different stuff like that we used to play, and try not to wake the whole house, because some of them were on night shift and we get killed. Yes. And then we had a couple of Battle of the Bands, and we went on stage in Dublin a couple of times and did really well. Strangely enough, because I wouldn't be known as a Tom Petty singer, but maybe I put my own slant on it. So always, I don't know, making music or noise or what it was, but always but I love music. Most people are just music listeners, and it's on the background. But you, Janni, you would be a music fan that I would count, like myself and other people that are into music, into it. And I go down the rabbit hole of finding other stuff, and I love buying new music or discovering new music, and listening to old music and all sorts. I just love music and researching, and I'm fortunate enough in my daily life that I can listen to music nearly day in, day out, and I can change around. And if I don't like a lot of stuff. I do not. What I like, and what I don't like, I don't like. But it can cross all genres. I'm not too picky on what genre it is, bar maybe one or two, but I do like hip hop. Not necessarily hip hop. I prefer rap, Public Enemy, and that sort of stuff earlier on. And then I like post-punk and goth and darker stuff, and then your dark wave, dancey stuff. And also, if it's a good tune, I wouldn't be into certain things, but just some people have just good tunes, and you know, we all have our not habits. We all have our, I suppose, guilty pleasure, isn't it? Yeah, of what tunes. You wouldn't tell anyone that you liked it, but you don't necessarily have to like it, but you wouldn't say it's bad either. So that's the way, you know, music is. Look at it, as long as it feeds your soul and you enjoy it, and what more? Yeah, that's what music is for.
Ja, hat also schon in jungen Jahren mit seinen Freunden Musik gemacht. Er war auch auf dem College unterwegs und haben sich zusammengesetzt und haben dann immer Gitarre gespielt. Und einer seiner Favoriten war unter anderem auch Tom Petty. Und sie haben auch beim Battle of the Bands mitgemacht in Dublin. Aber ja, wie das halt so ist. Und er mag Musik gerne kaufen. Er ist in vielen Genres unterwegs, weil er nicht so besonders mag, ist Hip-Hop. Er bevorzugt eher Rap, Public Enemy und solche Sachen. Unter anderem auch Post-Punk, alles was so im Gothic-Bereich auch unterwegs ist, und Dark Wave, Tanzmusik. Ja, viele machen gute Musik, deswegen ist er auch ein großer Fan von guter Musik. Wir kommen zum nächsten Titel, und da habe ich rausgesucht für euch den Song Missing. Vom Album In Power aus dem Jahr 2023.
Why do you have to breathe so loud? Why do you have to shout? Reason for living for reason. Somebody's out there, nobody's waiting. Silent mystery. Missing me now. Missing me now. people near a ringing steeple, buying camels and needles. Times are tough. Times are tough. Nobody's out there, nobody's waiting. Times are tough. It's not just a hole in the ground. Times are tough. Nobody's out there, nobody's waiting. Times are tough. It's not just a hole in the ground. Times are tough.
Tja, dann kommen wir schon wieder zur nächsten Unterteilung und da habe ich ihn gefragt, welche Instrumente spielst du? I ask Paul, what instrument do you play? And now the answer.
What music instruments do I play? I play them all. None of them to any good quality whatsoever. I will strum and make noise, and thanks be to God for technology. Yes, indeed. I'm not trained at anything. I have an ear for no ear, and my timing is slightly off. But what it does is it gives you a different perspective on things to what others do. So the more official, learned, I'll be great when I learn English. Learned people, more skilled people, they go through formulas and they know a song should be this, a song should be that, and all the other bits and pieces. That's not my method. Look, I like what I hear what I like, and it just brings out, and people hear different things in PMAD, and it's a pity you didn't have more of a chorus and things like that. Look, PMAD is for me, first of all, and the logic is that if I like it, then one or two people in the rest of the world might actually like it too as well, which is the way it's working out. One or two it is only. But yeah, look, I play all sorts of instruments. I can't do the drums though. Use my fingers for the drums. But guitar and bass and synths and things like that, yeah. And thanks be to God for technology, like I said. Yeah, we just put it in there and jigsaw it. I like jigsaws. And I'm very thick that way. I'm very, I just stay going and going and going and going and going at things. I'm very, yeah, even fixing things. I hate things to get the better of me. So I play all the instruments, but to a very, very, very poor standard. And even my singing, people say, it's not singing. It's, I don't know what it is. It's me, putting words out there, and they hit a tune. I don't know, are they in tune or anything like that, but they part of the tune, and no more than, look at, when you go on Groove or Submit Hub or any of these, and then they come back, no, they reject you, and they say your vocals were too much effects in the vocals and things like that, and then you send it back in the next day and there's no effects on it, and then there's, no, I don't like your vocals, or it's something else. Look, everything is an opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. I have an opinion, and that's fine. But the one thing about my opinion is I don't be telling people that things are bad or I don't like and the rest of it. If my mother used to always say, if you have nothing good to say, say nothing, and that's fine. And coming back with silly excuses and things like that, and people, the poor old indie artists get caught with investing in themselves and asking people for opinions and things like that. And you, as my wife said, you got to put on your thick neck and take the good with the bad. And some will like it, some won't. And it's an evolving thing as well, because you can't keep churning out the same music over and over and over and over and over again. What you do is you try and evolve and create new types of music or new music, and that's where PMAD is moving on in album 3 and things like that. And by doing remixes and trying to get yourself out there to different audiences, So, look at that's me.
That's nice. Ja, er hat geantwortet, dass er alles spielen kann. Mehr schlecht als recht, so nach dem Motto. I love this. Und er hat sehr, sehr viel sich selbst beigebracht und gelernt. Learning. Und unter anderem hat er zum Glück die Technik, dass er das, was er so zusammenbringt auf Gitarren, Synthesizern durch, ich sag jetzt mal einfach durch Software und so zusammenbringt. Er bezeichnet seinen Gesang nicht wirklich als Gesang, sondern es sind einfach Worte, die da vorne rauskommen und puzzelt sich im Großen und Ganzen einfach alles zusammen und die Melodie passt dann dazu, die entsteht dann dazu und ja, so ist das. Ich finde das so geil. Wir kommen zum nächsten Titel, nämlich Opinion ist am Start aus dem Album In Power aus dem Jahr 2023. Und danach kommen wir dann wieder zum nächsten Interviewteil. Und ganz, ganz liebe Grüße zu Paul. He's listening now.
Lie on the left, lie on the right. I know how does it feel being with me? Eagerness to play, it's a game. Fall from the sky, learn to fly. Eagerness to play, it's a game. Eagerness to play, it's a game. Don't you just hate it? Don't you just hate it? Yesterday's faded. Life is bright when you're right. Life is bright when you're right. All I needed was an opinion. No excuses were needed. My life. Life is a game and I'm willing to play. I know, I can be somebody. I can be somebody. I've an opinion and it may be a lie. Did you sin for me? Did you sin for me? I pray for something better, even a heartbeat. How does it feel being with me? How does it feel being with me? Life is a game and I'm willing to play. Life is a game and I'm willing to play. Life is a game and I'm willing to play. I know I can be somebody. I can be somebody. No excuses were needed. No excuses were needed. Lie on the left, lie on the right. It hurts my head, faking my life. I know. How does it feel being with me? How does it feel being with me? I knew I could be somebody. I knew I could be somebody.
Was war schon wieder beim nächsten Teil, beim Teil Nummer 5. Und da habe ich ihn gefragt, hast du Idole? Do you have any idols? Listen now.
Idols, you say? Yes. Don't worship false idols or false gods and things like that. Yeah, no, they say never meet your heroes and things like that. And I don't have heroes. I don't have idols. I don't have any of those things really. But I have people I admire. And they're probably the strangest people, your mother and your father and some of your friends, not some of your friends and things like that. And they're people you admire and you'd like to. There's nothing that I really want to do in my life. I love my family and my kids and things like that. And everything is, as long as your health, if you have your health is your wealth. And that's the most important thing. But as in idols, yeah, I don't know. No, I don't. But I do enjoy and love the way Tom Waits or Robert Smith or, I don't know, all that sort of stuff. Andrew Eldridge, the Sisters of Mercy and things like that on the music side and stuff like that, yeah. Politician-wise or historically-wise, no, look, we're all flawed. We're all very flawed. And every time you read the newspaper, you'd say, geez, that is great. And then suddenly they're out and they were the heroes back in the day and now they're destroyed. And then these days, there's so much going back in time to rewrite history on different things. Like things happened back in the day and things happen and maybe, look, it was harsh or people were wronged. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, look at yes. Idols? No, I don't. But there are people I admire, and then the more you admire them, sometimes you'll get let down. So look at it. Just tip along. I admire what people do. So the likes of poor old David Lynch, who was just deceased or whatever it is. I admired his mind and what what he created. It wasn't all that I liked or anything like that, but it was mad and it was different and it changed no more than the Pixies changed my mind on things, or Jem Askus and Dinosaur Jr. changed my mind on certain things as well, and music-wise, and they bring you out in The Cure and Dead and Sisters of Mercy and all the way through. People have their own different inspirations, I suppose, and eureka moments, and that's look at. That's what keeps us going, and music is part of my life, and it's one of the things that I love and keeps me going every day to say, oh wow. And so pMad gives me that aim. I'm too old for the pub and giving up smoking and all the other different things that you have in life. So music is my thing. Idols ain't.
Ja, er hat also keine Idole. Also jedenfalls nicht in dem Sinne. Er genießt und liebt die Art und Weise, wie von Tom oder von Robert Smith. Oder ja, er sagt halt, je mehr man jemanden in den Himmel hebt, desto mehr kann man aber auch von ihm enttäuscht werden. Er mag unter anderem auch Sisters of Mercy, war das richtig? I think. Und ja, so richtig direkt Idole hatte keiner. Wir kommen zum nächsten Titel und da haben wir den Titel Sword am Start, ebenfalls aus dem Album In Power. Oh Gott. Damit wünsche ich euch jetzt erstmal viel Spaß.
Tearing the walls, life as it falls. Shame, no more pain. Living and dying by the sword. Living and dying by the sword. With the death of the ink. With the death of the ink. Side of the sun burns my skin. Side of the sun burns my skin. Burn my tears, living in fear. Burns my tears. Burn my tears, living in fear. Living and dying by the sword. Living and dying by the sword. Take my word. We are living and dying. Living and dying. sword. How can you see so softly? Thoughts so strange, it's always the same. No one thinks they're to blame. No one thinks they're to blame. It feels like there is no hope. Left in this life, left in this life. What do I care what you think of me? What do I care what you think of me? Living, dying by the sword. Living, and dying by the sword. Take my word. We are dying by the sword. Living and dying by the sword. Living and dying by the sword. We are dying by the sword. We are dying by the sword.
Willkommen zum nächsten Interviewteil und ich habe Paul gefragt, wird deine Musik beeinflusst von aktuellen Ereignissen auf der Welt oder beruhen die Themen in den Songs eher auf persönlichen Erlebnissen oder sind es nur Fantasiegeschichten? Question number 6. Is your music influenced by current events in the world or are the themes in the songs based more on personal experiences or are they just fantasy stories?
Yes, indeed. That's where pMad gets most of its, I suppose, personal. Of course, every song that's ever written is personal. And, current events, old events, new events, war, hate. I can't stand war and I can't stand hate and discrimination and things like that. Look at most people don't like me. That's fine. No problem at all. Just get on with your life. You don't have to go shout and dance about it and say, I hate you. I even tell my kids, if you don't like something, you don't have to go as far as to hate it. Just stay away from it. Then you won't have to hate it. You just say, I don't like that. That's fine. Go on. I don't like peas. I don't like beans. That's fine. You don't hate them. You just don't like them. That's fine. And no one's forcing you to eat them. That's okay. So, based on personal there's no... if the fantasy, I suppose, is... the fantasy is there a dream world out there? Am I living in a dream world that I think that, people could be nice to each other. People needn't kill each other. People needn't be terrible to each other. Like the internet. Gee, nothing like starting a war on the internet. Again, if you're nothing good to say nothing. So... I can't understand it. That everyone has to have their tuppence. And the strange thing is most people will go on a keyboard and say all sorts of different things, but then say nothing, sit in a corner when there's a debate or with their friends or if they have any friends. And they're just quiet as mice. And they have no opinions then. But on a keyboard, absolutely horrific, And then these bombs and all these wars, and these are peace times, So look at, of course, everything is influenced. This is pMad, So there's a mixture then. So we'll say the personal stuff. I suppose a lot of who, why, where, what. Album, my debut album. If you want to buy that, is available on Bandcamp and all the streaming and the rest of it. And CD. Who, why, where, what. So you had Who Am I, and then you had That's All About Me. And then you have, who am I? So starts out with that question, of course. And then you're on to Then we moved on to medicine, and of course, I enjoyed the medicine. It was great, but it probably wasn't really good for you long term. Hardcore stuff like that. If you go on, it was great fun and enjoying. And the bar counter was my favourite friend for a long time. But anyway, them were the fun days. But the medicine, hope is medicine. That's the way I look at it. And to live a long, healthy, fun life with, So that was me. And then broken. Okay. Which one of us aren't broken? Admit to it. I am broken. That's all right. I have my faults. And they're not too bad. I'll get on with it. You needn't like me. That's okay. You don't have to go box me, fight me, beat me, hate me, any of these different things. Look, I know my own faults. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And like I said, just stay away from me if you don't like me. We can get on. I'm quite funny sometimes. It doesn't sound like it now, of course. But all these teams of all these bits and pieces. And then there was Youth, another tune of what would you do if you went back, Would you do anything different? Of course you would. I was the spotty kid in the corner with the braces, and nobody would ask you. You'd ask 100 people to dance, and you think anyone would dance with you? Nah, don't worry about it. Yeah, but the knocks make you stronger. Yeah, don't get depressed over it. Learn from it. That's okay, and be nice to people, and they might be nice to you. Don't get upset over things if they don't fancy you or they don't get on with you. Yeah, it's okay. And then who am I? Yeah, I am. And it was sort of the mantra then of I am me. It doesn't matter what you are, a boy or a girl or gay or whatever you are. Look, you are what you are. That's okay. Accept yourself first anyway. That's the most important thing. And then you're on to all the other horror. And then horror in that album was about, the horrors of climate change. And probably, I suppose, over the millions and billions of years that the Earth is here, climate is continually changing, and people use that against to say there's no climate change. Climate is changing all the time, so you can't be a climate change denier because it always changes. Nowhere in the dinosaurs were here, it's post-dinosaur, it's post-Stone Age, and thank God to the man that invented the wheel and all the rest of it, because without the wheel we wouldn't have vinyl records and all the other stuff like that. So it's continue. So denying stuff is no good. How do we help ourselves? Going up a degree, we're not helping ourselves, and this is probably the time of the world needs to, cop on a bit, and we waste stuff and we burn stuff and we do all sorts of renewable, and look, there is a chance to save ourselves, and it's whether it's because of climate change, but we're doing damn well. If you never change the climate, we're killing each other with wars and all the bits and pieces. So fire then the second album, I in Power is the name of the album. It's available on CD if you want to go over there to Bandcamp and the rest of it and order it. It's quite good as well. Got a lot of good reviews, and Fire was the debut single off I in Power. And that was about climate change, of course, and the world is on fire. And sure, look at Los Angeles there now. Yeah, it's whether it's climate change or not, it's just things. We're not setting ourselves up as no more than placing flooding, and we built on rivers or blocked up dams and things that where water flows or where things are too dry. We're building, and that's because there's 8 billion people compared to what there was 100 years ago. So, look at. Climate is going to be the way, but we need to help ourselves. And then you're on to Opinion, which is another good tune, went really well. And Opinion is, everyone's got one, even me. So listen to me, you're having to listen to me. Poor things, everyone's got an opinion, and everyone thinks their opinion is right. And then what happens is, we just listen to a lot of people, not me. A lot of people just listen to other people that have the same opinion. And that's where the algorithms and all the rest of it direct you towards. You just end up in this bubble of circular learning nothing. You're just agreeing with each other and saying, oh yeah, you're right. But why are the others wrong? That's what you need to find out. Or maybe they might convince you otherwise, or you might disagree. But it's good to know why these people think this way. And it's not these people, why these certain people, the left, the right. And the only trouble in the world is that the extreme, when we vote in the world, I've noticed when you vote in the world, the centrist is the majority of people. But all we hear about is the noise and the extremists on either side, it would be left or right or whatever it is, and they're the extremists, and there's the ones you hear, But there's not, how many governments in the world are actually extreme left and extreme right? Fairly few, because the majority of people, and this is the problem, the too much commerce and bits and pieces, we should be all bringing each other up to a bit of equity. Equality is grand, but equity, where it's fair on everyone, yeah? And see, what do I care? As long as my life is happy, and that's the way a lot of people are working, and the rest of it, I'd love to see all people. And I'm sure that people from Africa are the immigrants, and they're giving out about them from Mexico or whatever it is into America, and they're giving out about into Europe. But I'm sure most of these people, there is, of course, the immigrant that wants to go and tour the world, and Irish are going to County Australia, of course, now, and that's the new thing. And the Irish have always moved, but and a lot of nations are the same way. But they come back and they come and they go, and the next generation will do the same thing. But I'm sure a lot of African from Africa or Mexico or South America would much rather stay in Mexico or Africa and be near their families and have a job and learn and live and do all the nice life. That's all what most of us want. The only trouble is China and America or Europe or whatever it is pillaging all the actual good stuff out of Tanzania, Ivory Coast or wherever it is, and there are no jobs for the locals or poverty, yeah. So we need to level out equity is what we need, yeah, and stop the wars and but like most things, people want power. And it's sad. So is your music influenced by? Yes, our music is influenced by all these sort of things, and then life and death and all the other bits and pieces and stuff like that. And the new song, which is called Feed, is going to come off album 3. I've yet to decide what the name is, but I think it could be 1 + 1 = -1. I think that will be the name of it, but I'm not sure. My young lad says, no, that's not a good name, so I might make that just an EP. And we're still recording it, but we've got a few songs done, and hoping to get it on CD, definitely anyway. It'll go on CD, and you never know, might get onto vinyl. So, album 3, whatever it's called, Feed was the new single, and that's what, and like I said earlier on, a lot of people dislike, your voice, look at, everyone's going to have a different opinion on it, and other people, and lots of people hear different things in it as well. It's not, I wasn't reinventing the wheel, I was making a song by PMad, and that's the way it turned out, which is great for me, because I like it. I think it's very melodic, has no big chorus in it or anything like that, like most PMad songs. But it's something, it makes me think, and I might even get a tear sometimes to say, yeah, it's sad, and the world can feel very heavy sometimes when things go wrong for you, or life and death, and or you see something on the news, and it just, Lord, it can be depressing. But look, realistically, what can you do about it? All you can do is improve yourself. And the great Matt Johnson said, if you can't change the world, change yourself, and if you can't change yourself, change the world. So look, it's something like that. Look after yourself. You're the most important person in your life, and then your family around you are the next people, and you look after them. And then if you can do more than that, brilliant. And if we can all get on and don't do stuff to others that you wouldn't like done to yourself, yeah? Christian, as I am, and Catholic, yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was raised and born that way, and maybe more Christian than all these things, but maybe there's nothing wrong with the 10 Commandments. Yeah, don't kill each other. That's okay. Don't be stealing. Don't be coveting other stuff. How bad? Yeah, so it's just a good way of framework of living your life anyway. So that's... Yeah, PMad is based on everything, maybe bar fantasy, but maybe fantasy is hope that everything will be okay.
So, jetzt hat er ja viel erzählt zu der Frage, was ihn so beeinflusst bei seinen Titeln. Also ihn beeinflusst tatsächlich das Zeitgeschehen. Die Titel sind alle aus seinem Inneren entstanden. Und es bewegt sich viel um Kriege, Bomben, die aktuellen Geschehnisse. Viele Menschen werden beeinflusst dadurch. Hoffnung ist unter anderem auch Medizin und es ist auch egal, wer du bist, ob du ein Junge oder ein Mädchen bist oder ob du ein Schwuler oder was auch immer du bist. Er drückt halt dieses alles in seinen Titeln aus. Bewegt sich auch um das Thema Klimawandel und hat ihm darüber erzählt, wie lange es schon Dinosaurier gibt und wie die Welt beeinflusst haben und dass es die länger gibt als der Klimawandel. Und unter anderem war auch ein Titel, der deswegen entstanden ist aufgrund des vielen Feuers auf der Welt. Zum Beispiel unter anderem auch in Los Angeles. Da ist zum Beispiel der Titel auch Fire entstanden auf seinem zweiten Album I in Power. Das ist unter anderem auch auf Bandcamp erhältlich. Ne? So. Und er sagte auch, dass Menschen zum Beispiel auch aus Afrika, viele Einwanderer in seinem Land sind oder aus Mexiko, die würden überhaupt nicht ihre Länder verlassen, wenn sie Arbeit bei sich zu Hause hätten. Die nächsten Generationen kehren zurück in ihre Heimat, ins Ursprungsland und kehren dann doch wieder zurück, um woanders arbeiten zu können und die Familie zu ernähren. Und er will halt eben durch seine Musik auch ein bisschen Gerechtigkeit wirken lassen, indem er eben darüber Titel schreibt. Und er wird demnächst ein drittes Album rausbringen, aus dem schon die Single-Auskopplung Feed am Start ist. Feed habt ihr schon gehört vorhin. Ne? Er denkt noch darüber nach, wie das dritte Album heißen könnte. Er hat zu seinem Sohn gemeint, es könnte 1 + 1 = Minus sein. Aber sein Sohn meint eben, dass das ein schlechter Titel wäre. Also der Titel für das dritte Album steht noch nicht fest. Natürlich ist er Christ und er denkt halt eben immer an das Gute im Menschen und alles wird gut. Und man soll sehr auf sich aufpassen und ja, versuchen, das Beste draus zu machen. Ich habe für euch jetzt den Titel rausgesucht von Think.pMad zusammen. Der nennt sich Chance. Habe ich jetzt rausgesucht. Das ist auch einer der aktuellsten Titel überhaupt. Am Freitag kommt noch ein neuer Titel raus. Den habe ich noch nicht, da bin ich geschickt. Also ich wünsche euch jetzt erstmal viel Spaß mit dem Titel Chance.
Seen the light so bright, I will one last chance, just one more chance to live and see. I'll take it all, the rise and fall. It's all I'll ever be. It's all I'll ever be. It's all I need. It's all I need. I'll take it all, the rise and fall. It's all I'll ever be. One last chance, one last chance. It's all I'll ever be. It's all I'll ever be. I'll take it all, the rise and fall. It's all I'll ever be. It's all I'll ever be. All I'll ever be.
Und sind wir schon wieder beim nächsten Interviewteil und da habe ich ihn gefragt, wie bist du auf die Klangwald-Radiocharts bzw. auf die GWC gestoßen? In English, how did you come across the Klangwald-Radiocharts, the GEWC? Listen now.
Yes, we might give out about the internet and all these different things and the rest of it, but actually it's a huge resource to have, and a lot of what is going on today, as in the independent music scene, couldn't be done without the internet and getting it out there. So I'd always say those that introduce you to new music are hugely important in your life, and Janni and Niels of Klangwald Radio Charts and GEWC are absolutely hugely important because they introduce me to new music every week, and it's absolutely brilliant. It's an encyclopedia of new tunes every week to go deep in, dig into. And how did I hear about it? How did I come across it? See, the internet, yeah. And it's funny, you listen to what you like, yeah, and that's great. And before there was ever PMAD, I would have been tuned into Klangwald and GEWC because that's the type of music I like. And how do you know about these things? Is because, hey, maybe they'd like to hear about PMAD. So, yeah, so that's what you do. It's amazing, isn't it? Darklands Radio on Voltrega Radio as well, and it's absolutely amazing. I get astounded when I hear PMAD on these shows because these were the shows I would have been listening to before there was ever PMAD. Amazing, absolutely. You know, the type of shows and Xtra Electric of radio and magazine and all the rest of it. You'd be hugely into it, yeah. And same with Klangwald and GEWC as well. That's what I'm into, and this is the scene I'm into, and that's what I love, and the music that I love, and really want to hear more and new stuff about it, and then to hear PMAD is on it as well, or now and again. But this is what I send it because, or it's amazing. Yeah, that is what the dream of, like, that's to me is success. Like, PMAD has gone from 0 to 100 to 1,000,000, I suppose, as in success wise, because if you're on the stations or the shows that you love, before there was any other PMAD. God, you're elected. You're made. So, yeah. So how do I come across this? Because that's my scene anyway. That's where I'll be listening to it. Yeah. And all the music, it goes from the unknown and the new stuff to big bands and the rest of it. So I'd be so thankful to yourself, Janni, and Niels. The incredible work you do is absolutely unreal in keeping the whole thing going all the time.
Ja, Lobhudelei, sag ich dazu nur. Wie ist er dazu gekommen? Auf die German Electronic Webcharts, kurz auch GWC oder GEWC und die Klangwald Radiocharts übers Internet. Und zwar, es gibt sehr, sehr viele Stationen, die Musik ausstrahlen. Unter anderem ist er auch großer Fan dieser Musikrichtung, die in den Charts übertragen werden. Und er findet es total toll und auch brillant, dass er auch teilweise im richtigen Radio zu hören ist oder auch zu lesen in Zeitschriften, Illustrierten. Und es ist auch erstaunlich, dass es gibt eben Radios, die ihn hoch und runter spielen. Wenn er da mal reinhört und sich hört, dann findet er das richtig toll. Er hat sich irgendwann mal gedacht, er wird seine Musik an die Klangwald Radiocharts und an die GWC senden. Und siehe da, hat geklappt. Und für ihn ist damit auch ein Traum in Erfüllung gegangen und findet total genial, dass es so ist, wie es ist. Und er bedankt sich ganz sehr bei Markus, bei mir und beim Nils für die viele, viele Arbeit, die wir da haben. Und tatsächlich, es ist wirklich sehr, sehr viel Arbeit, was so in den Klangwald und German Electronic Webcharts unterwegs ist. Was man da leisten muss, was man auswerten muss, dass man einigen auf die Füße treten muss, auf die Hühneraugen treten muss, wenn sie da der Meinung sind, sie müssen sich da 5-fach anmelden und. Kann sich keiner vorstellen, was manchmal in den Hintergründen so passiert, wo auch die Janni mit involviert ist. Wir kommen auch zum nächsten Titel, den habe ich aus dem Remix-Album rausgekramt, nämlich aus dem Album Who I Wear What aus dem Jahr 2022. Der Titel heißt I Am Me Remix. Und danach folgt der Titel Down aus dem Album Iron Power aus dem Jahr 2023. Und damit wünsche ich euch jetzt erstmal viel, viel Spaß. Ich muss mal ein bisschen Luft holen.
You can see me as you want to. My truth is from my perspective. Your truth is from your perspective. You won't bring me down. I see what I see. You see what you see. If it was only so easy, you won't bring me down. When you live so high, it's easy to look down on me. Your life is so pure. I am the one to decide what I should do. What makes it true? What makes it true? What makes it true? Life's too short. You bring me down. Life's too short. You won't bring me down. My life is true. True to me. True for me. This is the life you choose. Please don't bring me down. Please don't bring me down. I won't let you bring me down. My life is free. Free for me. An imperfect mind. In an imperfect world. In a city of high hopes. Where everyone is broke. Nowhere left to run. Nowhere left to run. I will not be down. Be down. My life is worth living. My life is worth living. You're in my head. Now that I am alone, we begin again. We begin again. We will begin again. We begin again.
Ciao, da kommen wir schon wieder zum nächsten Teil. Der blanke Wahnsinn hier. Ich habe ihn gefragt, wer erstellt eigentlich seine Videos und seine Coverarts? Question number 8. Who creates your videos cover arts? Listen now.
Yes, cover art, it started, lots of them, and Little Bird, Abby with Little Bird Designs has done Who, I, Where, What, and I Am Power, and designed up so much for me. Absolutely brilliant. Abby is just a class artist, and the rest of it. She's got a huge customer base, obviously, because she's class at it. And yeah, she's only up the road from me, which is even better. It's shop local, which is great. And Abby, great ideas. I come up with some of the ideas and say, I wanted this. And she said, no, that's mad. You don't need that. Do this. And I say, oh yeah, that's even better. Great. Or I'll send on, this is the song. What do you think? And she come back with 4 or 5 different things, and we go from there. Absolutely brilliant. Little Bird Designs over here in Ireland, Portumna, Ireland, my side of the country. And then we have the brilliant Damien Farrell, who is a photographer and DJ as well, with the Mosh Pit, and he has done up amazing designs for me as well for some of the cover art. And then you have Maiden Studios, who has designed up a couple as well for me, so Sword and things like that as well. So look, I try and share it around, and people are supportive and they look after me playing. We all look after you. It's a community, and try to be friends, and we support each other. Supporting each other is hugely important. For videos, the videos nearly all done myself. A lot of the time I'm not in the videos because I have a face for radio, and the less you see me, the more attractive I am. Yeah, not even with a voice or anything like that. If you don't see nor hear me, actually, he might be okay. But with the videos, I suppose I didn't turn up for a long time into the videos. I'm not sure which one was first. Maybe Opinion was the first time I showed up in a video. But that's all right too. And it wasn't for long. But I think video is hugely important. I think cover art and videos are hugely important to music. It's not just, it's a package to me, because we're flicking through the vinyls and the CDs and the cassettes back in the day, going into the shop and going down the stairs into the record shops, the underground record shops and the bits and pieces or wherever they were, and flicking through. And it was the art that get me first. I would say soul mining or anything to do with that always attracted my eye. And I would not have, I would have heard them, of course, because they would have been wonderful, but I wouldn't have heard of them as soon as I did in the early 80s, only for the album art. Andy Dog Johnson created absolutely amazing art, and it just attracts the eyes and things like that. And so that's, I think, to come up with a good album cover or single cover, it means something and it stands out, and people take interest, yeah. And then you have the videos. Like I said, I was an MTV kid, maybe. I know it wasn't too much MTV that I did like, but going through the shows, you sort of had to make a video anyway. But I always liked the video with a bit of a story, or a story, I suppose, like Who Am I? It wasn't really, there's a guy going around with a baseball bat and then there's a body on the morgue table. But actually in my head, the guy with the baseball bat is the guy on the morgue table, or the knife, or whatever it is. They're on the morgue table because you've survived. Yeah, it's not them. But then everyone reads something else into it. And then, of course, with the horror and fire, it's fire. I was in that video as well, but Opinion came out earlier. My memory is, I'll be learning all these things as I go along. It all rolls in because so much goes on at a time. Creating the music is nearly the easy part. It's the other stuff. And sometimes it happens 6 months in advance a lot of the time. Yes, stop raving. But what you have is then a lot of stock footage and taking things from, there's no point in having me in where there's climate change and the rest of it, but I ended up in fire, of course. But the climate change, so it's a lot more effective when you have footage of what's going on around us, the icebergs collapsing and fires and place burning, and I don't know what fire is, 2 years old, maybe, a year or two old, whatever it is now. It doesn't mean things aren't going to stay not being on fire, and icebergs aren't going to still stay collapsing and things like that. Yeah, it's going to continue. So it's always relevant. Unfortunately, I'd love if it was totally irrelevant. But yeah, and then with the other medicine and broken and things like that, it's conveying a story. So sometimes you might convey. I convey one thing in the song, I think, and then I'm conveying something else in the video, and it sort of clashes, or it's creating a storyline for the song. So look, people again hear and see whatever they want, and it's up to people to see it. Yeah, because you have the streaming services, you have YouTube, then you have Bandcamp, and then you have all the other places in the world that people get their music, and then you have the socials, and you have to try and negotiate all these things, and you're clamoring for people's attention, I suppose. It makes me attention seeking then, is it? Oh, fuck, I hate that. But yes, it does make you attention seeking, really, unfortunately. Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. But there's millions, I don't know how many million songs are released every month. It's hard to believe. And everyone is clamoring for that. And you'll be into, as someone said to me, PMAD is a niche within a niche within a niche within a niche. So that either it makes it a little bit easier to distinguish yourself away from, say, all the grunge bands or all the rock bands or the heavy metal bands or the deathcore bands or the dark wave bands. That if I am post-punk, indie, gothic rock, there are not too many at that, yeah. And but yes, so you're trying. The video and the single covers is more attention seeking and hopefully catches people's eyes and they say, oh wow, that's cool, I must check out more.
Tja, er liebt diese umfangreichen Antworten. Ja, wie sind seine Cover und Vinyls entstanden? Also er hat bei sich in seiner Gegend eine tolle Frau, die brillante Abby. Ist eine einfach klasse Künstlerin und wenn sie das tut, hat sie auch sonst eine Riesenleistung vollbracht. Er gibt ihr manchmal einen Titel und dann kommt sie mit 4 Sachen um die Ecke. Er wohnt in Portumna in Irland und sie kommt meistens mit so kleinen Fotomotiven um die Ecke, unter anderem. Aber er hat auch einen brillanten Fotografen, nämlich Damien Farrell. Der ist Fotograf und DJ zugleich und er erschafft erstaunliche Designs für seine Coverarts. Videos hat er größtenteils selbst gedreht, findet sich aber nicht so toll, selbst in den Videos zu sehen. Er ist der Meinung, dass sein Gesicht eher fürs Radio taugt. Und ja, seine Coverarts sind wichtig, um auf Bandcamp in Erscheinung zu treten, gefunden zu werden und in Erinnerung zu bleiben. Und er ist ein Kind der 80er, der MTV-Zeit und daher wird er auch die Zeiten der vielen, vielen Videos und er hofft, dass seine Videos so erstellt sind, dass man sich die gerne nochmal angucken möchte, wenn man die sieht. Und er ist auch der Meinung, dass er glücklich ist, dass er auf diesen vielen, vielen CD-Tischen überlebt hat, die es so gibt. Und seine Coverarts entstehen tatsächlich manchmal schon 6 Monate im Voraus. Entstanden aus den ganzen Gedanken und Ideen, die er so hatte, gerade in Bezug auf die Titeltexte. Und sein drittes Album wird wahrscheinlich tatsächlich 1 + 1 ist gleich -1 heißen. Und er versucht all diese Dinge, die er gelernt hat aus dem YouTube und Bandcamp und aus seiner MTV-Zeit als Kind zusammenzufassen, um damit Erfolg zu haben, dass die Titel auch, dass die Covers und dazugehörigen Alben in Erinnerung bleiben. In der Kurzfassung. Und da er sich ja im Post-Punk, Punk, Indie und Gothic Rock bewegt und zu wenigen Bands gehört, die sich in dem Bereich bewegen, ist er eigentlich auch stolz darauf und ich finde es auch cool, dass es so ist, dass er auch wiedererkannt wird anhand der Covers tatsächlich. Doch, wir kommen zum nächsten Titel. Jetzt haben wir genug gelabert hier. pMad mit dem Titel Brokens am Start aus dem Album Who, Why, Where, What aus dem Jahr 2022 und damit wünsche ich euch viel Spaß.
my life. You destroy my life. You destroy my life. I suffer for your rights, your rights, your rights, your rights.
Das war schon wieder beim nächsten Teil des Interviews. Tatsächlich. Beim Teil Nummer 9. Da muss ich langsam mal ein hier. Kann euch nicht mehr so viel erzählen. Müsst ihr jetzt einfach zuhören und euch selber übersetzen. Ich habe gefragt, ob bald ein neues Album erscheint. Wann ja, wann ungefähr. Und die Frage auf Englisch: Is there an album coming out soon? If yes, when approximately? Oh. Ihr wisst schon. Versteht schon. Macht's ab.
That might be a good album title, actually. Yes, approximately. Yes, when approximately. Or who, I, where, what. I in power, and yes, when approximately. Yeah, maybe. There is one coming out, yeah, but I'm just waiting on a few different things to go through in my own head, and if I have any money and things like that, to see if we can produce a bit of vinyl as well as the CDs, like I said, and hopefully it'll be called something. Album 3 at the moment, possibly 1 + 1 = -1, but we could come up with, I'm thinking, other one, actually, now that I am thinking, is Feed Your Soul. If I get onto vinyl, it'll probably be Feed Your Soul, and trying to work out what songs are on it. Then we have about 12, I suppose, and then we're in the middle of another project, The Greeting, of course, which is Lee Martin out of Big Generator, and myself and the other guys in the Big Generator, and we're releasing tunes. We've 2 released already, which is Need and Over, and they have done extremely well, and there's a different scene, a grungy indie rock, maybe an 80s twinge to it as well, or 90s, and people hear whatever they want to hear. And The Greeting has done really well, and we hope to have an album out for that as well. I don't know what that's going to come. We're going to have an EP out in 2025 anyway. So The Over Need to Plan is going to be that called. It's going to be called that. The Greeting. The Over Need to Plan, and that's the name of the EP. And pMad will have an album, whether 25 at some stage or into 26. But when I'm going to release the album, it's going to be true. It'll be on Bandcamp, or you can buy it in CD. If you want it early, you can buy it, or I'll get it to you, and you'll have all the songs. And if not, if you want to stream them only, and because then you'll get them gradually over time. That's the plan with that. And then we're mixed up in another project with Janni, Lunar Paths and the Kill Toys, and we have I'm trying to get through this, and we have that project, Exquisite Corpses. So we have Diane and Mick and myself, and we're going to Kill Toys, Lunar Paths and pMad. And what we have done is we're going to release a song ourselves, one of our songs, so each band releases a song, and then of the other 2 bands, Killjoys and Lunar Paths, we use their percussion to create our own song for it. So you have 9 songs, but the percussion of the other 2 bands, your own percussion, Lunar Paths percussion, and Killjoys percussion. So you're going to have 3 songs for each, and that'll create different, and I'm sure it'll be completely different on each band's take on a bit of percussion. So anyway, that's part of what's going on as well at the moment. So of course, nothing on. We're not busy. We've nothing else to be done. So we keep busy. And then on top of it all, I have the radio shows, which is great. The Best of Irish Indie, which is on 14 different radio stations at the moment in Germany, on Radio Sylvia every Friday in the evening. I think it's 6 o'clock. If you want to check it out, The Best of Irish Indie with me, pMad. It's on Croatia on a Thursday, Ireland on a Thursday, and America on Sunday. There's 14 different radio stations, and it's live on Saturday with me on LCR FM. And that is the best of Irish indie. But then on a Tuesday, I also have the best of world indie, where bands from around the world send in their tunes, and hopefully they will, of course, yes, majority of them will get played on the best of world indie. It's on Wild Dogs Radio, and it's 6 p.m. Irish time. So whatever time you are in the world after that, the Irish are usually late. So whatever time it catches you to get up to that, that's so. Lots going on. An album coming, EP from the Greeting, pMad album, the Greeting EP definitely, and the Exquisite Corpses album as well. I suppose 9 tunes is an album, definitely, because generally pMad only puts 8 on it. So, and the radio shows, and I have to live my life as well, and other things. So all sorts going on.
Tja, Live-Auftritte sind nicht geplant. Ihr hattet gerade auf den Ohren Expect Me aus dem Album Who, Why, Where, What aus dem Jahr 2022. Und zur nächsten Frage kommend sind wir bei Frage Nummer 11. Gibt es etwas, was ich dich noch nicht gefragt habe, was du aber gerne erzählen willst, weil es dir wichtig ist? Etwas, was ich vielleicht gar nicht wissen kann? Also sowas gibt es ja auch, ne? Is there anything I haven't asked you yet, but what do you want to tell because it's important to you, something I might not even know? Listen now.
No, nothing live at the minute now, unless we get the greeting together. But actually, the greeting under the auspices of Big Generator is the name of the band, and they actually are in Germany in March with their Rock Rising show. So if you can check out the Big Generator, Rock Rising is the name of the show, and they're all over Germany. They were over there earlier on last year, and they had a huge success. So, but PMAD at the moment is not getting live. Maybe the greeting, but make sure to check out Big Generator and Rock Rising.
Oops.
Just so kind to PMAD. Look, I am most grateful. I try not to have an ego, but of course I get hurt. I cry and I do other things like anyone else. But look, we all break. But look, I do what I do. I enjoy what I do, and I'm really grateful that people like it. And anyone that shares it and people that introduce you to new music are hugely important. Please keep, music didn't stop in the 80s or the 90s or the 2000s or whenever it is. It's still going, and there's absolutely amazing music every week. So I will encourage people to keep checking out the Clangwall charts and GEWC each week or whenever you can, because it's absolutely amazing. And Janni, I am most grateful. I can't thank you enough. And if anyone can stay listen to me long enough to actually think PMAD is worth listening to, please do. PMAD is most grateful. Good luck.
Tja, und damit verabschiede ich mich. Ich sage auch ganz, ganz lieben Dank zu Paul. Ganz liebe Grüße nach Irland. Have a nice evening. Thank you so much for listening to this radio show. Und wir hören uns wieder nächste Woche. Gleiche Stelle, gleiche Welle mit der Voice of Berlin, mit der Stimme aus Berlin, mit der Janni. Und damit sage ich Tschüss, winke, winke. Xtra Electric im Swagger Remix aus dem Album Look at Me Now.
What do you see? What do you see? Leaving me. Wishing to rise while others fall. Can we not just rise together? Why do you lie? Why do you come on and think? Come and think. Life is mine. Dance like you can. Dance like you can. Swagger the streets with electric voice. Swagger the streets, electric voice. Can you hear my voice? What is your choice? All alone. Why? always